What's going on, guys? This is JD. I am jumping on here to kind of go over a Magicka build today. So I'm actually going to release a couple of builds today. So for this current build, we're going to go ahead and talk about sets I'm wearing, why I'm wearing these sets. We're going to go over stats, CP, all that good stuff. So I've been promising a lot of people that I would release some Magicka builds, so here they are. Now keep in mind these are all for PvP. So yeah, I'm a PvPer and streamer, as some of you guys know. Anyways, my name at JD Moonin. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive into this, and we'll go ahead and check it out. Okay, so currently right now I'm wearing 5-piece Julianos Light. I've got in-pin across the board. I feel like that makes you a bit tankier when you're wearing light armor. I mean, I use in-pin pretty much all the time. That or Sturdy. Sturdy's really good on DK. Now I'm going to wear 2 heavy pieces of Blood Spawn. So I'm wearing 5 light, 2 heavy. Now, of course, those are both going to be in-pin. What I would like to do is I think I'm going to add Hokkejus to all these. I have Hokkejus on the helm. But so anyways, so that's the body. So it's 5 Julianos, 2 Blood Spawn, and also we're going to be wearing Sun as well. So now the point of this build is we want some crit because naturally as a DK you're lacking crit. So that's going to put us up to 38.0% spell crit, which is pretty decent. Now I'm testing this build out for next patch, so keep that in mind. This is going to be our Magicka pool right here, 34k. I think it's pretty good. We're almost at 35k. It's pretty decent. 1828 is enough Magicka recovery for me. I do really well. My sustain works pretty well. I don't spam. Health's a little low, but keep in mind we're going to go over some CP that will kind of help out with keeping you in the fight and tanky. So it's going to be 22.9k health, and our spell damage looks pretty low. That's because we're wearing Sun, so keep in mind that's going to add an additional like 500 spell damage. Well, 400 spell damage that's not on your actual tooltip. So that's what we're looking at right now. Here's our resistances, unbuffed. Now let's kind of go over all these buffs. Now look at this critical resistance. This is huge. I like to keep it about that number. So with our buff sub, this is what we're looking at for resistances. We got 2300 on the spell resist and 1800 on the physical, which is not horrible. Now keep in mind you can spam Igneous Shield, and that'll also keep you from getting critted at all. So now let's kind of go over abilities, what I use. We'll start with the back bar here. This is my oh shit ultimate, Devouring Swarm. It's really, really strong. It's going to keep you alive and allow you to nuke a lot of people when you're in a group. When you're in the middle of like 5 players. Now keep in mind DK really shines when they're outnumbered. That's like where you want to be as a DK. I feel, in my opinion, I like to be outnumbered playing my DK. I use Dragonfire Scale. I like the extra damage. I don't really care too much for the extra resistances that you get from the other morph. It's not that strong. Of course, Elusive Mist, I feel like this is really strong, especially when you're in solo play. Now, keep in mind, this is going to be my solo build. So I feel like Elusive Mist is just really powerful for solo play. And then you got Volatile Armor. Of course, you want that. I mean, look at the resistances. 5280. It's just huge. It's a lot of fucking resistances. And you do a little bit of damage as well, and you get a nice dot from Volatile Armor. It's really good ability. I suggest every Magicka or DK in general to use that ability. Igneous Shield, it's going to give you that major mending, which is really huge, especially when you're in the middle of like 5 people. You definitely want that. Coagulating Blood, since like we have to deal with the no crit currently, it's kind of shitty, to be totally honest. Like it could be way better. But it is what it is. That's what we have for a heal right now. I don't use Inhale. I feel like Inhale is kind of finicky. I feel like it's not as strong as a lot of people try and make it out to be. Like, it's really strong if you're tanking, but I feel like Elusive Misting away and getting yourself to a position to Igneous Shield, Volatile Armor, and then hit your heal is way stronger. Now on our front bar, I use Standard of Might. It's super powerful. I mean, it's going to give you a damage increase by 20, and it's going to reduce your damage taken by 20, which is huge. And then also inflict major defile on people, which is really strong if you're trying to take out a Templar or, I mean, hell, even somebody like a Magicka or just a regular DK. Like, it's just super strong. You can lock them down in it. It's a really good ability. I like it over Shifting Standard. I feel like shifting standard is somewhat of a training wheel, but that's just me personally. Now, of course, I use igneous weapons. You can use either morph depending on if you're using Destro or Sword and Board. I prefer this morph because I use Sword and Board, and I do light attack with my sword. So that's just me. And then here we go with Fossilized too. Like hands down, one of the strongest CCs in the game. I think it's absolutely just ridiculously powerful. It's a little broken in my opinion, and it's gonna put people off balance, which is really gonna make it's gonna give you that power lash from the whip. Burning Talons, which also has the ability to put people off balance, really strong. It hits like a truck, and it gives you a really strong dot. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's not that strong." It's actually like it's gonna crit for like 2 to 3K um, per second if you're hitting crits. Like so, it's really strong. So keep in mind that it's a really good ability. It hits as strong as Impulsor, if not even stronger, and it's a lockdown too. So Burning Embers, it's probably one of the best heals in the game, my opinion. I will have it on my bar forever and ever. Just getting healed for 99% of the damage is ridiculous. I've had 30k heals from Burning Embers, so it's a really, really strong ability. Whip, Power Lash, hands down, best morph for PvP. It's going to give you a nice hit whenever you hit him with the Power Lash, and then it's going to give you that really strong hit. Look at that, 15k over 2 seconds. It's really strong. So now let's look at everything buffed. So after we buff up, after we buff up here, look how much more damage we're doing. Almost a little over a K more damage on the Burning Ember, I mean on the Talons, and then Burning Embers is going to do almost a K more damage as well. And then look at our whip. It's, I mean, almost 8K and then almost a 10K power lash. So tooltip looks really good. And then, I mean, Standard of Might is just super strong. So let's kind of go over what we're doing for CP as well. So on my CP, I like to do a lot of splits. So I run a 75 in Elemental Expert to give me that 20%. I really like Blessed. I feel like it's really strong. It helps out with your coagulating blood heal, and it's just an overall really good CP to have. Now, next patch, when they raise the cap on CP, I'm going to have Arcane Well in this tree, so I'll add an extra 8. I'll probably put 3 here and 5 here. And so I like to keep 75 into Thaumaturge. Because that's going to give you Exploiter, which is going to make your Power Lash even stronger. So keep that in mind. That's a 10% increase on Power Lash, so that's really huge. Also, Resistance, I like to keep 39 in Resistance. I do a 60-60 split on Elemental and Hardy with 28 in Thick Skinned. Next patch, you might want to go a little bit more in Thick Skinned because Mag Decay's probably going to be seen quite a bit in next patch. And so over here I like to run 62 in Magician. I don't like to put a whole lot in a Magician just because the diminishing returns on Magician are really horrible. I like to run 75 in Arcanist to give me that 20% recovery. And then I like 39 into Tumbling to give me that 10% reduced dodge roll and break free. I feel like that's really huge. And then I run the rest into Shadow Ward just because you're going to be blocking a lot too. So keep that in mind. Block is really big as a DK. And you have Igneous Shield too that you can spam, get that stamina back. So these are things to think about, really strong. So just keep these in mind. So yeah, so this is going to be my solo build. Now keep in mind this will be for more advanced DK players, guys that can successfully, I guess, tank a few people in light armor. It's pretty difficult to play, but once you get it down, you'll see that you'll be doing a lot of damage. So yeah, I mean, this is definitely going to be the Law of the Blood Sun build. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll be playing it a lot next patch. So I may or may not go heavy with it next patch. Haven't decided. If I do go heavy, I'll release another build video for that, and you guys can check it out. But thanks for watching. I'll see you guys out there on the battlefield. All right, have a good one.